Shri Mataji, what is Sahaja Yoga?
Sahaja, Saha means with, Ja means born. So it is born with you the right to become united, which is the yoga, with the divine.
And this Sahaja Yoga is something that everybody can have, is it? Is something everybody can practice?
Of course.
And how does this connection with the divine take place?
We have within ourselves this power in the triangular bone, which is called as sacrum, meaning sacred, which when awakened sprouts like a prelude in a seed and rises through 6 subtle centers, opens out the last center and gets connected with the divine, which is a subtle energy all around us, which organizes us, which nourishes us, does all the living work. Above all, it loves us.
Does this mean, Shri Mataji, that people who have not had the ability to practice Sahaja Yoga are not connected with the divine?
Most of them are not. And if some of them are, they don't know all about it.
So this is an extra force that is available to human beings to develop themselves in this world.
Of course. This is the last breakthrough of our evolution, where you have to get connected with the divine, you have to feel it on your central nervous system, and that's how you get your self-realization.
Do I perceive here that this is a way of balancing oneself, of keeping in such a way, of living one's life in such a way that one is not unbalanced in one's view of what is going on around us?
Yes, we have 2 sides in our system of autonomous nervous system, left and right, which we call as left and right sympathetic nervous system. The left side caters for our emotions, for our past, our desires. The right side caters for our action, physical and mental. If you indulge into one too much and go too far with it, you develop an imbalance within yourself. In the center lies the third power, which we call as parasympathetic nervous system. This is the channel which is the central path of ascent. When the Kundalini rises through it, it brings you in the balance because it rises in the center of the system. So this is the minimum that happens, that you develop your balance.
So how does one actually achieve this balance?
It just happens spontaneously.
In other words, there's no physical requirement on an individual?
Not at all, not at all. It's a evolutionary step, as I told you. In our evolution, we have developed a balance. We can stand on our 2 legs. Animals cannot. In the same way, you develop this special balance between your emotions and your actions in a very proper way.
You speak as though this is some sort of evolutionary step.
Yes, it is. It is the last breakthrough, that you have to become the spirit now. And this has to be achieved, which can be achieved only through a living process, because we have become human beings through a living process, and that living process has to act within us.
This sounds as though it is rather a significant time then in the history of humanity.
Very much. In the history of humanity, in the history of evolution, in the history of spirituality is the most important time, because here where you will get whatever has been promised to you so far.
So it's no accident then that Sahaja Yoga has appeared in the world at this time?
No, not at all, not at all. It's all predicted thousands of years back in India, and later on by many saints. Even William Blake has predicted it.
So you have an expectation really that this thing called Sahaja Yoga will change the world?
Of course. It changes human beings and they manifest the change outside. And we create a new race. That's what they're talking about. If you go, they talk of new age, of a new race, but I don't know what is their imagination about it. They talk about all these things, Aquarius, and Aquarius is the Kundalini. She is placed in the Aquarius, and they talk about Aquarius age, all kinds of things. They are talking, writing, thinking about it. But when it comes to actualization, I think they think I am very too simple for them, not complicated. And Sahaja Yoga is too simple. It should be very complicated. And all their own ideas about seeking, that they must suffer, they must go to Himalayas, they must starve themselves, and then only they can get realization.
Shri Mataji, is the evolution of the planet closely related to the evolution of humanity?
Of course, it is very much related. And the planet, our planet is moving in a spiral way. All the planets are moving in a spiral way, and they are creating all possible things for the use of human beings, so that they can save time for getting their ascent and for meditative growth. But people don't understand that part.
There are theories around now that the suggestions, so we say, that the planet could be a living organism, a complete entity.
Of course it is. One of the examples of this one I can give you is that if you sleep under a coconut tree, a coconut never falls on anything that is living, whether it is a human being or a snake. It never falls.
That is so, is it? All around the world, coconuts never fall on living creatures.
Yes. So they understand. We call it as Shri Phala because we think that it is like a brain which understands.
Well, if this world is a living organism, what is the brain? What drives this being, this organism? What has made it evolve the way it has?
There is this subtle power which is all pervading of God's love, which manifests all the things like living work, all nourishment, all balancing. It's so balanced. If the Pacific was slightly deeper than this, there would have been problems. If Himalaya was, say, 1.5 times than what it is, there would have been problems. So everything is so balanced in nature. And the Almighty has created only one world. Only we human beings have divided and moved like criminals with our passports in our hands.
Shri Mataji, what we have been talking about, many people would regard as a belief or a theory. How does one know the difference between truth and a belief?
First of all, anything for which you have to pay money is not the truth. You can't pay for truth. If you cancel out that, I think 99.9% all the falsehood will drop out. But truth, to be really actualized, you have to have self-realization. Then you feel on your fingertips vibratory awareness, a new dimension awareness, by which you can make out what is true and what is false. That's an absolute truth that you realize at that stage.
So one must have one's realization really to be able to tell the truth.
Even to follow anyone, one must have realization. By realization, what happens? As a result, you become a person endowed with thoughtless awareness. That means you see everything, you witness everything, and whenever you want to say or to think, you can see about it. But you don't react. There's no reaction. So you are empowered to see it in such a manner that there need not be any thought, just the whole creation acts on you. It's a very subtle thing. is to be experienced. And that is the point where we realize that we are the source of peace. And that's how our inner peace is established. Now people have many foundations of peace. I have known all of them. They have no peace within themselves. Some people have got peace awards and they are horribly hot-tempered people. But they have got peace awards, Nobel Prizes. The peace has to be first of all found inside and then it manifests outside.
Shri Mataji, thank you very much.
Thank you.